Hi everyone, this is Crypto Guy in South Africa. So today I'm going to make a video about USDT to Tron. So we've had a lot of talk about USDT-TRON in the past few weeks, and some people I can see, obviously in the community understand, and I can see a few don't understand and just see it as, another token that's coming to the network. Yes, it is another, form of token, but they're not fully understanding the picture, or they're, saying, oh, we're going to use Tether or USDT for some dApps rather than Tron, and it's, it reduces the usage of it, but at the end of the day, it is still on the network and it has a bigger play than that. So I'm just making a video now to just unpack this and let us understand where are we going with this and what is the aim that Justin and the Tron Foundation has with USDT. So you will see that USDT, there's been a lot of talk about USDT Omni going to USDT-TRON, and I think that's what, has confused a lot of people, is like they're saying Omni or USDT ETH. What is the difference? Because everyone just knows it as Tether or USDT. So just to unpack it, we're going to unpack what is, this Omni, what is this USDT Omni, why are we trying to move it to Tron, and you can see there's a big incentive plan, to move it. But we'll come back to this incentive plan, and just for you to get an idea of what it is and what are we trying to do here. So from a Tether perspective, you might be already familiar with this symbol. It's this little tether. It looks like this. It's got a website. But basically, they offer a stable coin. So, a stable coin, what do I mean by a stable coin? So, if we go to an exchange, you can see that you can trade, if we go to Binance, you can trade with the BNB market, where you go XRP, BNB, or any of these currencies to BNB. Or you can do it to BTC, or you can do it to a USD. And that's your Tether coin. Now, you could have done it with BNB and BTC, but there's always that argument that BNB and BTC are always fluctuating, whereas USDT will be more constant. So USDT is a stable coin where the value will not fluctuate as much as other coins. So that is why it's referred to as a stable coin. So to give you an example, you could sell Bitcoin, it could go down in value, but the USD value at the time of sale will remain there. And then you could buy other tokens, at a lower rate when those tokens also go down. Whereas if you had let BTC go down and other tokens also went down, you wouldn't really have sold it for a higher price and bought something at a lower price, because everything would have gone down in similar percentages. So just to give you an idea. So we can fundamentally say that USDT, is used a lot in exchanges. I myself, if I'm going to exchange, a lot of times you put in USDT, where if I'm not sure what the other coins are going to do or the other tokens. So that is what USDT. It's a stable coin, and it's kind of like a safe haven to have a currency that doesn't fluctuate. But now this USDT, how does it work, or how is it operate? And it's also known as Tether. So if we go up here, we can see there's USDT. It's also known as Tether US. Many people just say Tether. But if we look at it, USDT is a cryptocurrency asset issued on the Bitcoin blockchain via the Omni layer protocol. So there we go. That's where the Omni layer word's coming from, and we can see that it works on the Bitcoin blockchain. So we all know Bitcoin blockchain, you use it to send up and down Bitcoin, but it didn't traditionally have, functionality for extra tokens on it. So that's where the Omni layer protocol comes in. And you can see this information. I've got it on the info Binance. Always a good place to get info if you're not sure. So have a look at it. So let's have a look at this Omni layer. So yeah, I've got another site, just like Tron has its own website, Omni has its own website, and you can go read up about it. And again, just to confirm what we read, it's a software layer built on top of the most secure blockchain, Bitcoin. So they've built on top of Bitcoin, and the Omni transactions are Bitcoin transactions. So we can already see they are Bitcoin transactions. So any downfalls that Bitcoin has, you can kind of say Omni is going to inherit it, which means Tether would inherit it. Now, just like Tron, we have TronScan. They have their own Explorer. So TronScan is Tron's Explorer. Omni has its own Explorer. They call it Omni Explorer. Now let's have a look at this. If we look at the Omni Explorer, we can see the different blocks. We can see the different transactions. These symbols are showing the type of tokens. So it's not just Tether on here. There is other tokens. But we can see majority of them are Tether. So you can see this number here, hash 31. It's 338. So in this block, it's got 338 transactions that are Tether, while the others are others, and then over here 314, 247. Now this is a lot of transactions for a specific token, stablecoin token, but if we look at the total transactions for 24 hours, it's 40,000. So it's not as much as Tron. Every 24 hours we have about 2 million. But if we look at the actual USD value, we can see this is a high value. Also, bear in mind, Omni, it's not necessarily doing any D-apps and everything. But we can see here immediately, these are high value, and it's quite a lot of money that in US dollar value that we're talking about that's running on the USDT. And this is a lot of exchanges. A lot of exchanges are using this as a stable coin so that people can trade and pair and have some sort of comfort. Or a lot of corporate companies bringing money into cryptocurrency would want something more stable, and this is where they would then enter, or their entry point. So we can automatically see now we can see we discussed that Justin has an incentive plan to try and move this to Tron. So we're not just talking about creating another token on Tron and bringing putting a whole bunch of more Tether in circulation. We talk that is one of the goals, but one of the main games that you can see that Justin's really trying to do is to try and move a lot of these transactions to Tron. So again, we'll then be bringing all this USD value to the network. And as you can see, the Tether, it operates as a token. It is a cryptocurrency, yes, but it's pegged 1-to-1 to a US dollar. So that's the most important part of it, is it's really pegged to a 1-to-1 US dollar. You can see that over here in the information. If we go back to the Binance site, each USDT unit is backed by a US dollar held in the reserves of the Tether Limited and can be redeemed through the Tether platform. So you can see there's a 1-to-1 to the US dollar, and that's really its aim. So let's say we then brought that to Tron blockchain. So we can automatically see Tron blockchain, it's a lot more faster. We got transactions. If we have to go into here and we say blocks, it'll say here's the transaction in the last 1 minute, but in reality these are seconds apart. Whereas when we go to the Omni, we can see that they minutes apart, some are half an hour apart, so we can see the time frame. So you can already see that this blockchain is slower. So what we're already seeing is one, if we bring all those transactions to the Tron network, Tron's obviously going to gain a lot of a USD value running through the blockchain, but also at the same time, the USDT or the Tether is going to get a great advantage of being processed on a fast blockchain. Also, the fees are a lot lower. So we can see again, the motivation, that's helping both sides to move forward and move to another blockchain. Okay, so let's have a look at this incentive plan. So now you can kind of understand, when we say, or when Justin or Tron Foundation says USDT Omni, so that's the Omni logo, but that's the Tether, but most people just know it as that symbol, because when you're in the exchange, you'll see that. And most exchanges, you don't always know which one they're using, because it's not just Omni, there is a little bit on Ether, the ETH network. So, but the majority of it is on the Omni. So if we can move that to the Tron, we're not just saying, let's make another stash of Tether on our network. We're saying, let's try and move all that business. So imagine, having multiple exchanges rather than using USDT Omni, using USDT-TRON. That would be a big win for the Tron network, massive win. And if we scroll down, we can then see some of the advantages here that we've been talking about. So USDT-TRON, we know that Tron's nearly immediate with its transactions, whereas Omni, I've already showed you, the transactions times can be up to hours. We saw some minutes and half an hour and so on, but it can actually be up to 3 hours. Then USD-TRON, we know that we get some free bandwidth every day, and we can do some free transactions. So again, free. Whereas we know that on average, when we're doing anything on the blockchain, Bitcoin, there is a fee. There's high fees. And if you go and try and do a withdrawal of USDT or Tether on the blockchain or from an exchange, you'll see that the fees are high. Now you might be saying, a lot of times most people don't ever withdraw Tether, but you can. So if you go to the Omni, you can Omni Explorer. From here you can create a wallet. There is a way to create a wallet. There we go. We can see over there you can create a wallet. So there's definitely a way to create a wallet. So you can create a wallet, withdraw it, and put it on this blockchain directly. But most people are used to just leaving it on, the exchange. Well, at least I am. Maybe other people do it differently. And then, okay, use cases. So here, as I mentioned, it's mainly trading only. So we can see here that it's mainly used for trading only, whereas if we put it on USDT, we'll bring all that trading traffic. So that alone, as you saw on the Omni Explorer, there's a lot of transactions, which is probably 90% trading. We'll bring that to the Tron network, and then we can use it with dApps. We can use it with BitTorrent. So we are now giving Tether another extra use case. And I know people are saying, but then they'll use that instead of Tron, and reduce the use case. But it's not really reducing the use case, because for you to send that on the Tron network, you will need to get bandwidth. If you don't have bandwidth, fees will kick in, and if fees kick in, you're burning Tron. So either way, and whether you send TRX or you're sending Tether or you're sending any other token, the same rules apply. So that is, why it would be great to get this to our network. And if we look, let's go back here, and if we zoom out again, if we scroll a little bit down, okay, so, and then we can see here there's aggressive timelines saying that if you move over your USDT from Omni or the ETH network, there's actual annualized bonus rate that you can get. So there's a lot to gain. We got to remember a lot of these exchanges will hold USDT. So just the exchanges moving over would bring over a large portion, and there would be quite a large reward out of it, or if it's other people, companies holding it, just them moving it over also would get a large bonus rate out of this. So, and then you'll see there's more and more Medium articles where they talk about how to do the swap. And again, you can see they refer to USD Omni and USD ETH, and then swapping it to USDT on the Tron network. So again, you can really see the focus is about swapping, not just pushing out a new batch of Tether tokens. It's really about moving that Tether as much as possible over to the Tron network, bringing a whole bunch of more transactions. So let's just remember, we've got 2 million transactions. So if we bring over that, we add in quite a lot of transactions. We're talking about an additional 40,000 per 24 hours that is constant. But I know 40,000 doesn't sound a lot to 1.7 million transactions, per day. But also look at the value, the actual USD value of this. These are large numbers we're talking about that we're bringing over. Those USD values could be, more than what Tron's processing in an hour. I haven't actually physically worked it out, but it is a large value. And let's go back here. If you go look at Just Sun, you'll see he's got a lot of tweets going on, and there's been last month, big focus on this. And I hope after explaining this, you can understand, the massive gains that Tron can make, with this move. But let's have a look at this picture. This is really the picture we want to carry on looking at, because we can see here from a Tether perspective, they've got total authorized, and total authorized but not issued, and less quarantine tethered. Here's the amounts we're talking about, and then here's the amount in ETH circulation, and then again here we've got the total authorized amount for Tron. So Tron's already got 50 million. We're about a quarter away to overtake ETH, the Ethereum. But really at the end of the day, what we want to see over the next few months is we want to see these two amounts decreasing and this amount increasing. If we see that, then we know we're moving a lot of those transactions over and not just increasing the Tether base over multiple blockchains. That's really what we want to see. And the more of that we see, the more currency we're going to be seeing coming to Tron, the more use cases increasing on Tron, and just making Tron more and more strong and powerful. And that's really what we want at the end of the day. We want to grow Tron, and we want to make it better. So yeah, I hope you found this informative, and I hope this gives you a better insight, why moving USDT or Tether to the Tron network is such a big play. All right, thanks.